last concept in first unit, that's called breakdown in solid type dielectric materials. Okay, breakdown in solid type dielectric materials. This is the last concept. Okay, try to consider here. So you know well different types of solid type dielectric materials. Okay, you know aware of that different types of solid type dielectric materials. Okay, if you are applying high voltage to the solid type dielectric material, so what happens inside of the dielectric material? Okay, by using these figures, you can understand the concept of solid type dielectric material when it is subjected to high voltages. Okay, whenever this solid type dielectric material is subjected to high voltages, so what happens inside of the solid type dielectric material? We have to discuss today. And so here, this is called one type of solid type dielectric material. This is called solid type. That may be mica, paper, or porcelain. Okay, wax. So whatever it may be. So I'm taking as a one type of dielectric materials. You know well, so what difference between insulating material and solid type dielectric material? Okay, insulating material cannot support the electric field. You know well, I'm already explained during starting. Okay, insulating materials cannot support electric field, but dielectric materials can support the electric field. Okay, so here the step of solid type dielectric material is subjected to the high voltages. So during that condition, this positive plate and this called anode and this called cathode, in between we are placing one solid type dielectric material. Okay, that means the solid type dielectric material is subjected to high voltages. Okay, during that condition, so what happened is the inside of the solid type dielectric material, there is a ions are there. Okay, the ions are gets polarized. Okay, the ions are gets polarized once is a solid type dielectric material is subjected to high voltage. So like this manner, the ions are gets polarized. Okay, if you are applying high voltages, very high voltages to the solid type dielectric material, that means the concentration of electric field on the solid type dielectric material goes on increasing like this manner. So here, more electric field you are applied here. Okay? You have to apply more electric field here. Because of that, the ions are stretched like this manner. Okay, the ions are stretched like this manner. That means positive ions are attracted by the cathode plate and negative ions are attracted by the positive plate. Like this manner, the ions are stretched. Okay, so if you are applied again, you are increasing the voltage across the dielectric material. So what happened? Okay, so this type of situation we are also. That means positive ion and electrons separated like this. That means electrons become free. If you are applying high voltages to the solid type dielectric material, if you are increasing the voltage across the solid type dielectric material, finally the free electrons are available inside of the dielectric material. Once electrons free means, okay, once electrons are free means it acting as a conductor. Instead of acting as a insulator, it is acting as a conductor. That means breakdown occur across the solid type dielectric materials. Okay, understood. First, we are applying high voltage to the solid type dielectric material. So if you are increasing the electric field to the dielectric material, so it goes on like this manner. The ions are first polarized and stretched, okay, and then separated positive ion and electrons are like this manner. The free electrons are available. Then breakdown occur across the solid type dielectric materials. Okay, it's clear, I think. So there is some theory about electric breakdown. Same concept. When a dielectric is placed in an electric field, it get polarized. When a dielectric is placed in electric field, it get polarized. Okay, in polarized dielectric, atom gets stretched. Okay, and then if we further increase the electric field, then the more stretching of atoms will takes place, and electrons will travel towards the positive plate, and positive ions are travels toward the negative plates. I'm already explained this total concept. And it loses its dielectric property and the breakdown takes place. So like this manner, this is the procedure how the breakdown occur in across the solid type dielectric materials. Okay, this is the process. Okay, by using figures and diagrams, I'm explained here. Okay, this is the theory about solid type dielectric material. How the breakdown occur when we are applying the high voltage to the solid type dielectric material. Okay, first we have to know, so what is in by dielectric strength and what is in by breakdown voltage. Okay, First, we have to know what is meant by dielectric strength and what is meant by the breakdown voltage. First, this is called a dielectric strength, the maximum value of electric field intensity that can be applied to the dielectric without its electrical breakdown is known as dielectric strength. That means how much of voltage it can withstand the dielectric material. Okay, that is called dielectric strength of the insulating material. Okay, some insulating materials are it can withstand 10 kV, some insulating materials are withstand 100 kV. So according to the property of dielectric material, the dielectric strength goes on changing, is not fixed. Okay, and then a threshold value above which the current starts flowing, we can name as breakdown voltage. Okay, if you are increasing the voltage goes on increasing like this manner. So the once a particular voltage that is called threshold voltage, beyond that the dielectric material breakdown. Okay, that means it acting as a conductor. So that is the concept of dielectric strength and dielectric breakdown. And then these are the different types of dielectric materials. Okay, these are the different types of dielectric materials, Okay, so mica, Teflon, paper, and the Pyrex glass. These are the different solid type dielectric materials. Air is under gas step. So here mica 102 to the power, that means 100 megavolts per meter. The dielectric strength of the mica 100 megavolts per centimeter, 100 megavolts per meter, and Teflon is 16 megavolts per meter. Paper 16 megavolts per meter, and air you know well 31 kilovolts per centimeter per air, or 3 megavolts per meter. Okay, Pyrex glass 14 megavolts per meter. So this is the different types of classification of dielectric materials. Not only three, this so remaining also there, but this are somewhat important compared to others. Then classification of dielectric materials, solid type dielectric material classifications. Solid type dielectric materials are classified into like organic matter, okay, organic matter, and non-organic matter. These are the two types of solid type dielectric material classified like this: organic matter and non-organic matter. Okay. So organic matter, paper, wood, rubber, these are under organic matter, and non-organic matter, mica, glass, porcelain, okay, perspex, and PVC, polyvinyl chloride, epoxy, resins. These are the comes under non-organic materials. Okay. Generally, the breakdown strength of this type of insulators are 10 megavolts per centimeter. Okay, in general, so not fixed. In general, this is the breakdown strength of the solid type insulating materials. And the highest breakdown strength under controlled condition is known as intrinsic strength of dielectric. Okay, the highest breakdown strength under controlled condition is known as intrinsic strength of dielectric breakdown. Okay, this is the concept of breakdown of insulating materials. We will discuss later. Okay, so breakdown in solid type dielectric materials. So the graph, by using this graph, you can understand the concept of how variation of breakdown strength with more time after application of voltage. It's clear. So try to consider here. So this is the time on x-axis time, and y-axis I'm taken as a breakdown voltage VB. And x-axis I'm taken as a time, and y-axis breakdown voltage. Okay, if the solid type insulating material is subjected to the intrinsic or electromechanical breakdown, okay, if a solid type dielectric material is subjected to intrinsic or electromechanical breakdown, so during that condition, to break down of the insulator, it is required very high voltages. Okay, this much of voltage is required, very high voltages. Okay, but the breakdown occur across the solid type dielectric materials very less time. The breakdown takes place across the solid type dielectric material, but to break down of that type of insulator is required very high voltages. Okay, under intrinsic and electromechanical breakdown. Okay, understood. And then next thermal breakdown. Thermal breakdown is taking more time because of temperature. If temperature increasing and the heat is increasing, and then dielectric material lost its property, it's taken some time. That's why compared to this intrinsic and electromechanical breakdown, this somewhat time Okay, more time, somewhat more time compared to intrinsic or electromechanical breakdown. But when this dielectric material is subjected to high voltages, I mean less voltage also, it possible to break down of the insulator. For less voltage also it possible to break down of insulator, but it's taking more time. And finally, erosion or electrochemical breakdown. Okay, this is the breakdown of insulator, which takes place. So very much time it's taking very okay. So time required for the breakdown of insulating materials is more when this insulating material is subject to erosion or electrochemical breakdown, but less amount of voltage is required to breakdown of the insulating materials. Okay, this is required more time. So intrinsic or electromechanical breakdown, it may be taken uh, a few minutes only, microsecond minutes. Okay, thermal breakdown in few days or few months. Okay, erosion or electrochemical breakdown maybe years. Okay, like that, the time is changing, the breakdown voltage also changing. Okay, next various methods of classification of solid type dielectric material. I mean, to analyze the performance of the solid type dielectric materials, these are the different types of mechanisms. Okay, by using these mechanisms, we can understand the concept of solid type dielectric material. First one, intrinsic or ionic breakdown. First one, intrinsic or ionic breakdown. Second, electromechanical breakdown. Okay. Next, failure due to tearing and tracking. Okay. Next, thermal breakdown. Next, electrochemical breakdown. Finally, breakdown due to internal discharges. It's clear. By using these different types of mechanisms, also we have to understand the concept of solid type dielectric material. Okay, these are the different types concept. It's clear. And first one, intrinsic or ionic breakdown. First, second, electromechanical breakdown, failure due to tearing and tracking, and thermal breakdown, and electrochemical breakdown, and breakdown due to internal discharges. So these are the different types of mechanisms. So based on that, we can understand the concept of solid type dielectric material. First one, take here. So intrinsic breakdown. First concept, intrinsic breakdown. Okay, try to consider it. So this is called one of the solid type dielectric material. Okay, so this is called a solid type dielectric material. Inside of the solid type dielectric material, so there is some void here also. Okay, we have to observe one void. Okay, inside of the solid dielectric material, so the void is takes place. If the one void is takes place, how the breakdowns takes place. So we have to discuss. Okay, this is called solid type dielectric. For example, cable. Okay, cable that is called polyvinyl chloride. If you are taking one cable, simplest. Okay, simple cable we have to take. So at that condition, there is some void you are observed. The void is nothing but there is no material here. There is no material. There is an empty space here. That means it's filled with air only. Okay, this void is filled with air only. Okay, so at that condition, so the permittivity of the air is different, and permittivity of the solid type insulating material is different. Okay, that means the dielectric strength of the this void and the dielectric strength of the insulating material, that is called cable, is different. No? These two different types of dielectric strength. Okay, if applying the high voltages, that means the solid type dielectric material can withstand the very high voltages, but in between across the void, okay, the air dielectric strength is 31 kilovolts per centimeter. You know well. Okay, so the dielectric strength of the air is less. Am I right? The dielectric strength of the air is very less. Okay, compared to solid type dielectric materials, maybe 10 megavolts per centimeter, but this is called 10 kilovolts, 31 kilovolts per centimeter air dielectric strength. But the solid type dielectric strength of the solid type dielectric material is very high. Okay, there is a change in dielectric strength we are observed. Okay, so because of that, so under very high voltages condition, the void acting, there is a spark is observed. Okay, the spark observed, that it means the air will come conducting. Okay, because of that spark is observed. Okay, because of that spark, the surrounding void will become erosion. Okay, that means the surrounding air, the air will become breakdown takes place, and the surrounding void will become erosion. Because of that, the dielectric strength of the insulating material goes on increasing. Okay, so if you are applying high voltage, first the surrounding air will become ionized and it will be erosion process take place. And then after some time again the spark is takes place here, and again the breakdown strength of the decreasing. That means void is increasing. Void is void is so like this manner. First this is the void first case. After certain time the breakdown occur and the surrounding material breakdown material will become erosion. Because of that again like this the void is increasing, and finally so it is increasing like this. Okay, and finally the total insulating material will break down. Clear? So like this manner, this void, because of small void, the entire dielectric material uh, material will break down occur. Okay, so this is the concept we are observing. It's clear. This is about intrinsic breakdown. So this is the theory about some explanation theory about this type of uh, so breakdown of insulating material. And next electromechanical breakdown. Electromechanical breakdown. So here electromechanical breakdown. Then electromechanical breakdown. Try to consider electromechanical breakdown. It's a simple concept. Nothing is there here. This is called a solid type dielectric material. In the absence of field, that is called electric field. Without applying the high voltages, this is the state. Okay, state of the dielectric solid type dielectric material. Under very high voltage condition, because of attraction between the ions, because of surface charges. So okay, this dielectric property of the dielectric property of the insulating material goes on changing. Okay, during that condition, the mechanical properties of also the dimensions of the solid type dielectric material also goes on changing. When an electric field is applied, a dielectric between the two electrodes, a mechanical force will be exerted on the dielectric due to the force of attraction between the surface charges. Okay, because of this force of attraction between the surface charges, okay, the solid type dielectric material will become compressive. Okay, there is a compressive force. This is because of attraction between the surface charges. Because of that, the dimensions of the solid type dielectric material goes on decreasing, and then this compression decreases the dielectric thickness, thus increasing the effective stress. Okay, when the field is increased, the thickness of the material goes on decreasing. That means mechanical properties of the solid type dielectric materials goes on changing when it is subjected to the very high voltage because of force of attraction between the surface charges. Okay, this is this surface charges of solid type dielectric material, the force of attraction between these two. Because of that, the mechanical properties of the dielectric material goes on decreasing, and finally, when field is increased, the thickness of the material decreases. Then breakdown takes place. Okay, so this is about electromechanical breakdown. Then next, thermal breakdown. Thermal breakdown. All of you draw this diagram on the graph. So heat versus temperature. This graph shows the relation between heat versus temperature. So here this green line is called heat lost. Heat lost line, the green. And this line E1 heat generated because of electric field E1. E1 is called electric field high voltages. That means E1 is called high voltages, and it is compared to E1 somewhat less voltage. For example, E1 is 100 kV. Let us assume E1 is 100 kV. That means E2 they may be 50 kV or 60 kV like that. Compared to E1, E2 voltage is less. Then when solid type dielectric material is subjected to very high voltages, so like this manner we are getting graph. Okay, heat versus temperature, we are getting like this manner. And then when the solid type dielectric material is subjected to somewhat less voltage compared to E1, so at that condition we are getting this type of curve. Okay, E2, and then this is the heat lost curve. So try to observe even curve. Okay, try to observe here. Try to consider A E1 curve is called heat generated. Generated. Okay. So while observing this E1 curve, heat generation is more than that of the heat loss. Here heat loss line. Okay. The heat generated curve is above that heat loss line. Okay. Heat generated is called E1 line. Electric field E1 due to electric field E1, heat and temperature line curve like this manner. That means heat generated is more than that of the heat lost. Okay. Heat generated more than that of the heat lost. But due to electric field E2, so up to here is okay. Heat generated is more than that of the heat lost. But in between theta A and theta B, okay, heat lost is more than that of the heat generated. It's clear? Here heat lost is more than that of heat generation because of that the solid type dielectric material safe. Okay, that means from this curve we have to understand one main concept. Heat lost is more than that of heat generation. Then only the solid type dielectric material is safe. Otherwise, breakdown takes place. It's clear. Heat lost must be greater than that of the heat generation. Then only the solid type dielectric material safe. Otherwise, there is a breakdown observed across the solid type dielectric material. So this is the concept. Try to understand. Here below this heat lost is heat generation less than that of heat loss. That's why the solid type dielectric material becomes safe. There is no breakdown takes place during this region. Okay. So then thermal breakdown. So because of DC electric field and because of AC electric field, the dielectric strength of the insulating materials goes unchanging. All of it first step. WDC is equal to E square into sigma watts per centimeter cube. Because of DC, okay, because of DC, heat generation, WDC is equal to E square into sigma. So sigma is called conductivity of the specimen. Okay. Under AC, WAC. So we are denoted by AWAC, that is equal to E square into F into epsilon r tan delta by 1.8 into 10 to the power 12 watts per centimeter. Okay. So this is the because of DC E square into sigma. Okay. AC E square into F into epsilon r into tan delta by 1.8 into 10 to the power 12. We are getting it. Here F is called frequency and delta is called loss angle of dielectric material and E is called RMS value of supply voltage. And then E to dissipated WT is equal CV into dt by dt, okay, plus divergent of K into gradient of T. Okay, this is the equation. Heat dissipated. Here CV is called specific heat of the specimen, T is called temperature of the specimen, K is called thermal conductivity of the specimen, and T is called time over which heat dissipated. Okay, so this is the concept we are observed by using thermal breakdown. So try to concentrate here. So WDC or WAC is called heat generation and WT is called heat lost. WT is called heat lost. Heat dissipated, nothing but heat lost. Okay. So generation is greater than heat lost. That means dielectric breakdown takes place. Okay. Heat generation, WDC or WAC, is greater than that of the WT. That is called generation is more than that of the heat lost. Heat dissipation, generation is more than that of the heat dissipation. That dielectric breakdown takes place. Okay. Heat generation is equal to the heat dissipation. Okay, WDC or WAC is equal to WT. That means equilibrium condition. We can say that equilibrium conditions. When WDC is equal or WAC is equal, heat generation is equal to heat dissipation. Okay, equilibrium condition. And generation is less than that of another condition. WDC or WAC is less than WT. That means there is no breakdown of solid type material. There is no breakdown. Okay, no breakdown of insulating material. Okay, WDC or WAC is less than WT. Okay, so the condition these are the different type of concept here. Okay. So try to consider one numerical problem about dielectric thermal breakdown by using AC. If you are applying the high AC voltages, how the breakdown takes place. Okay, a solid specimen of dielectric as a dielectric constant of 4.2 and tan delta is equal to 0.001 at a frequency of 50 Hz. If it is subjected to an alternating field of 50 kV RMS per centimeter and calculate heat generation of the specimen due to electric loss. It's clear. So okay, because of AC, no? Okay, 50 kilovolts per RMS per centimeter because of AC only. So yeah, the breakdown of insulating material takes place. So that way, you have taken one formula that is called WAC is equal to E square into F into epsilon r into tan delta by 1.8 into 10 to the power 12. Substitute here. F E is called 50 kilo ohms, 50 into 10 cube whole square. So then F 50 edges and then epsilon r 4.2 and tan delta 0.001 by 1.8 into 10 to the power 12. So we'll get 0.91291 milliwatts per centimeter. Like this, we are getting numerical based on. And next, chemical and electrochemical breakdown, deterioration and breakdown. Chemical and electrochemical deterioration and breakdown. So in this concept, we have to discuss mainly concentrating on oxidation, hydrolysis, chemical reaction, oxidation, hydrolysis, and chemical reactions. Based on this three concepts, we have to discuss this breakdown of chemical breakdown of insulating materials. Okay, chemical breakdown of insulating materials based on these three processes we have to discuss: oxidation, first one, hydrolysis, and chemical reaction. Okay, first one, oxidation. The oxidation is nothing but as an insulating material is subjected to the oxygen or ozone. Okay, oxidation is nothing but the insulating material is subjected to the oxygen or ozone. In the presence of air or oxygen, especially ozone, materials such as rubber and polyethylene undergoes oxidation, gives rise to surface cracks, particularly if stretched and exposed to light. Okay, so this is called oxidation. And next, hydrolysis. Hydrolysis is the solid type dielectric material is subjected to water. Okay, it is react with water. When moisture or water vapor is present on the surface of the solid dielectric, hydrolysis occur and then materials lose their electrical and mechanical properties. Example, polyethylene film may lose its mechanical strength in few days if kept at 100% of relative humidity. Okay, this is the concept. Nothing is there. Oxidation is nothing but it is a solid type dielectric material subjected to oxygen or ozone. It's react with oxygen or ozone. And then hydrolysis is moisture or water vapor. Okay, so reactive. Hydrolysis is a process of splitting the chemical bond of the insulating material by addition of water. That is called oxidation and hydrolysis. Finally, chemical reaction, chemical breakdown. That means the solid type dielectric material subjected to is react with acids. Because of acids, this type of breakdown we have to observe. The progressive chemical degradation of insulating materials, for instance, of cellulose degrades much more rapidly in the presence of traces of acid substances. Okay, for example, if you have to, for example, in transmission line, we are using different type of insulating materials, so that pin type, suspension type. Okay, to provide the isolation between earth and conductor, we are using some type of different types of insulator. Okay, if we, because of acid rains, okay, because of acid rains, the insulating materials are react with acids, then breakdown of insulating materials takes place. Okay, that is the problem we are facing. Okay, because of electrochemical breakdown. Okay, so finally, triggering and tracking. Okay, the triggering and tracking because of surface conductive path across the surface. Okay, the triggering and tracking we are observed because of conductive paths across the surface. Okay, conductive path across the surface, and also one more concept, that leakage current. Because of leakage current, because of conduction of the surface of the solid type dielectric material, we are observed the triggering and tracking. So whenever this solid type dielectric material is subjected to high voltages, the surface of the surface of the insulating material is acting as a conductor. Okay, surface of the insulating material acts as a conductor. Because of that, the sparks are observed like this manner. These are the different types of sparks. Okay, because of conductive path across the surface of the insulating material. Because of conductive path across the surface of the insulating material, because of that, the sparks are observed across the solid type dielectric material. These are like sparks. Okay, these sparks are formed like this manner. Okay, and then the sub sparks are we are observed like this manner. So like sparks are this is called main branch of the spark, and then the subtype sparks are also observed like this manner. So it's looking like a tree. That's why this process is called triggering and tracking. Okay, the breakdown of because of sparking, that is called because of spark of the surface of the conductor is called, or because of the leakage of the insulating material is called, that's called tracking. And the sparks are appear like a branches is called treeing. Okay, this is the concept under treeing and tracking. It's clear. So it's look like a tree branches, no? That's why they're giving you tree and tracking. So this is called one of the solid type insulating material, that may be cable or any type of insulating material. Okay, because of moisture content presence on solid type dielectric material, the conductive part of solid dielectric we are observed. Okay, we have to observe like this manner because of surface conducting and because of leakage currents. Okay, like a branches, that's why they are in a treatment tracking. So how to overcome this problem? Clean, drying, okay, moisture repellent greases by using the treeing and tracking problems are overcome. This is the cable. So try to observe, this is the cable. And that cable, because of surface conducting or because of leakage current, this like that the spark observe, and this spark there is a branches. Okay, observe this color like this one. Okay, this is the concept of a solid dielectric material.